Today's video is sponsored by Very Many Cups on Patreon. Teval versus Padeem, Sokrates and Tatyova. Well, I'm glad I caught it now rather than later. We are at turn 4 in the game now, and it's only really just started going. We've got the Sokrates player here, just threw out a Morden Canaan off the back of a Sol Ring which he played this turn. Got out an early Arcane Signet, then his commander the turn after, and now has a Dog Illusion off the commander, or off the Planeswalker, which is an 8/8. Tatyova's played a bunch of ramp as you would expect, crop rotationed into a Simic Growth Chamber, the bounce land, and has his commander down with a full grip and a bunch of mana next turn. Padeem also got down turn 2 ramp into a turn 3 Padeem, and then its Liquid Metal Torque into more ramp in Palladium Mere. And we got down a turn 3 commander thanks to the Lotus Cobra, and we're ready to swing in now. Decided to surveil a Hedron Crab into the bin. Won't lose too much life to it at least, and it will trigger our commander. So a creature left our bin, and that means that we get our first 2/2 Druid. Now let's go Marsh Flats. And Hedron Crab we will mill ourselves. And a green mana with Lotus Cobra. And then there we see Gilt Leaf Archdruid, which is really good with a bunch of Druid tokens that we might be making. Lich Knight's Conquest is good with a bunch of tokens in play as well, probably won't make use of it now that we've milled it. Let's go for the Rampant Growth then. Now green mana isn't too good at the moment, so we'll go and grab that. Mill ourselves with the Hedron Crab again, see if there's anything that we feel as though we want to reanimate at some point. And we've milled a Vilis, Broker of Blood, so yeah, I think that would be a good thing to mill. Or a good thing to reanimate even. Crack the Marsh Flats. Give ourselves an Underground Sea. That will come in untapped and continue the mill with the Hedron Crab. And we've got plenty of lands to choose from here, including a bounce land of our own. Plenty of fetches. So let's cast the Dread Return while we've got the mana. And that enters play from the graveyard, so once again making a Zombie Druid, and it might be that we can do something with Tortured Existence into the Gilt Leaf Archdruid. Hopefully we won't lose our graveyard at some point. Swinging this over at the Planeswalker, and it does trigger on attack, so whether we get through or not, we're still going to be getting the self-mill and getting another land into play. Say yes to the ability, and there's a Gaia's Cradle, so getting some decent self-mill going here. A card left the bin, doesn't have to be on creatures. Unfortunately, we're making the mana to Lotus Cobra during the attack phase, so we can't get down the Tortured Existence, but I don't want to be showing my opponents that anyway. Milled Cultivate, there's a Conduit of Worlds, Skull Clamp, Ramunap Excavator, 3-Tree City will be good if we can keep the zombies in play. So one thing we could do with the black mana is pay 2 life, give something -1/-1. Might as well just pay the life here, and just throw it on the Padeem. So because we lost 2 life, we draw 2 cards. Not going to kill off any creatures, but we draw the cards at least. That is more mana for us. So we're off to a good start apparently. A basic it looks like, played into Tatyova. Might have multiple land drops a turn depending on what's in his hand. And that is a Baral, Chief of Compliance, which is always fun to see hit the board. Followed by a Walk of Eons, which is an extra turn card. Always fun to see hit the board. Anyway, got down a Ramunap and able to play a fetch after that, so he's keeping his life up and the number of cards in his hand. And then plays a Nissa's Pilgrimage. This is the one that if you have 2 or more sorceries or instants in the graveyard, you can get an additional forest. And they've certainly got plenty of instants and sorceries in the bin at the moment. So drawing even more with Tatyova. We're assuming that they're holding up counter magic because they were eager to get out Baral. Won't mind seeing him tap out though. We're at least last in the turn order against the player that wants to hold up counter magic. A Cultivate as well. Obviously with Baral he's making use of the discount as well, so things like Cultivate only costing 2 mana. A Reality Shift goes into exiling the Vilis, that's fine, it gets it out of his hand. Surprising that he's doing that at sorcery speed here. Could have waited until the end of this player's turn, but at least we got to draw a couple of cards from it and it doesn't just sit there like an idiot. Manifest. The top creature is a Tireless Provisioner, so we can actually flip that round into landfall, which you often can't do with Manifest. Could still have something like Arcane Denial held up. So I'm wondering if we can get through counter magic hopefully we'll be able to actually steal Tatyova's lands next turn and knock them out before they go absolutely nuts, even more than they already have. Alright, and the Azorius player just passing through the turn, so smells like a Cyclonic Rift. Forsaken Monument, so he's going to give a buff and generate more mana, meaning that the rock taps down for 2. They've got 4 mana available, and there's an Unwinding Clock. So they'll have 2, 4, 6 and 7 mana. Might be able to make use of instant speed, colourless mana. Of course, they've got hexproof on all their stuff. Right, so there's an Azusa, which is probably worth getting in. We're probably also safe to just swing in with Teval straight away. Yeah, let's just go through to combat here. So that will give us some self-mill, which includes a Hedge Maze, Mesmeric Orb, and the Sol Ring. Say yes to the ability and grab ourselves back a 3-tree city. And as soon as I grab that back, we're probably going to lose our board here. I'm still waiting for that mass bounce, but name zombie here regardless. Might be able to keep the board intact, get all the landfall stuff. Field of the Dead triggers for the first time. And Teval will give us a zombie as well. Self-mill from Hedron Crab again. Can't make use of Lotus Cobra mana unless we want to put it into the Manifest creature, which we didn't gain a treasure from. Priority being held up consistently by this player, who I'm not too concerned with, only holding up colourless mana. More self-mill from Hedron Crab gives us ripples. Timeless Witness can be cast from the graveyard. Stitcher's Supplier for more self-mill. Noteworthy that priority isn't being held up by Tatyova, which is good. So why don't we see about flipping this round now, just so that we can make use of that mana that we made off the Lotus Cobra. Noteworthy with Manifest, you can do it at any point, so we can do it at instant speed there. And we need 7 druids in order to make use of the Guiltleaf Archdruid. So let's see, I think we can tap down the Guy's Cradle now. So that makes 9 mana, let's try Azusa. Again, priority's only being held up by the mono blue player. So I will throw out a Swamp, and that gets a bunch more landfall triggers on the stack. Make a treasure with the Tireless Provisioner, is going to be additional mana for us. Make a black with Lotus Cobra, and try and just slam down the Tortured Existence straight away, which is going to hit play most likely, and it does. So now it's a case of using as much black mana as we can. Put the Archdruid into hand, we'll just get rid of Sir Comrade, and then every time we do this we'll make a Druid token with the Zombie Druid generator in our commander. So what did I say, we need 7 of these, so just do it a couple more times here. I think I'm fine to play the Verdant Catacombs, which of course generates us more mana, gets more self-mill, more zombies. And with the black mana from Lotus Cobra, I'll just put the... there's Gravecrawler in the bin. I'll just activate the Tortured Existence, bring back the Timeless Witness, put Guiltleaf Archdruid in the bin. We can activate the enchantment at instant speed, so shouldn't be too risky putting this back in the bin again. But when we do that again, it triggers our commander for a Zombie Druid, and then do it again, grab back the Archdruid, and with that we have our 7 Druid tokens. So let's play out the Archdruid, and now the now the Simic player is holding up priority for the first time, so we'll see if he can counter this. Yeah, I wouldn't normally go this hard at stealing all my opponent's lands, but it's Tatyova with Baral and extra turns and full grip, plenty of mana. I mean, I don't really know what else we're supposed to do here when we've got no cards in hand. And yeah, with that, it seems as though this player is scooped. Tatyova's just timing out on us. Yeah, it's a shame. If I could vocalise things to my opponents easier, I imagine they think we're just going to steal everyone's lands for the rest of the game. I'm only doing it to Tatyova here, but obviously they don't know that, so I can't really blame them for wanting to scoop here. It is a bit try-hard, but I'm up against a try-hard Tatyova deck, so it's kill or be killed, I think. Alright, so Sokrates decides to scoop here as well. We'll just have to upload this as a little exhibition match, because I think the Teval deck worked out quite well for us, with all the self-mill shenanigans and stuff. It's self-mill mixed with a bit of lands matter, as we've seen here, what with our commander being able to reanimate lands. Obviously, if you want to power down the deck a little bit, you don't have to go for the Guiltleaf Archdruid. but against the stronger decks like this, then you'll be glad you did. So obviously that just depends on your playgroup. Otherwise, it's throwing good stuff like Villis into the bin and reanimating it. You can use cards like Dread Return to sacrifice all the zombies and bring things back into play. For full transparency here, I thought I mentioned it at the beginning of the video, but I now see during the edit that I didn't. I did actually ask for bracket 3 in this game, which means I shouldn't have been playing the Archdruid that can steal all the lands. I still find it difficult to remember what you can and can't do in the different brackets, especially with me making so many decks so often. So there was some unintentional dishonesty that occurred here, and I do apologise for that. The Tatyova player said that he had, I think he said he had about 4, maybe 5 extra turn cards in the deck, so I can't even remember what the rules are with brackets and extra turns. If you can play extra turns up to a certain number, but you just can't have like 10 turns in a row or something, I can't remember. But anyway, just wanted to be transparent as ever and point out the fact that I shouldn't have been playing the Mass Land Denial in this list because I did ask for bracket 3, so apologies for that. Anyway, hopefully you all enjoyed this short one. Be sure to leave it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments section what you all think, if you'd like to see it again and so forth. Massive thank you to the patrons as ever for supporting the channel. I'm Tribalkai. Thank you for watching.